It began with one sentence. No context, no caption, no explanation. Just Olandria, mid-live stream, smiling as she looked at the comments and said, "Y'all are gonna be so fed in November." That was it. 7 words, and the internet froze. Because if you followed her for even a month, you know she doesn't say things like that lightly. No random hype, no throwaway quotes. When Olandria drops a cryptic line, it's a signal. Something's coming. The fans caught it instantly. Clips spread across TikTok in hours. Theories, edits, voiceovers, entire think pieces built off one sentence. People were dissecting her tone, her timing, even her eyeliner that day, trying to decode what she really meant by fed. Was it merch? A new brand? A collab? Nobody knew. And that's exactly the point. Because that single sentence wasn't just a tease, it was strategy. A spark designed to light a fire without showing the match. See, what most creators do is announce. They drop trailers, schedules, countdowns, all noise, no intrigue. But Olandria and Nic, they've mastered something rarer. Anticipation through absence. The silence after the tease is what makes people obsessed. They don't fill the space. They leave it open long enough for the audience to start building inside it. And that's how Fed in November became the start of something much bigger. A movement built entirely on curiosity. Because the fans didn't just wait for answers, they built them. Fan pages started guessing. Comment sections turned into forums. Some thought it was a product line, others thought it was a docuseries, a new era, a relaunch. But here's what makes this so genius. Olandria didn't deny any of it. She just smiled, liked a few comments, then logged off. That silence, that's her version of a headline. She knows exactly what it does. It keeps her audience refreshing, wondering, replaying her life for hidden clues. And the craziest part, even Nic played along. Every time someone asked him about November, he'd grin and say, "You'll see." It wasn't avoidance. It was alignment. 2 creators working in sync, building suspense like co-directors of a film the audience doesn't even realize they're part of yet. By the time October ended, Fed in November wasn't just a phrase anymore, it was a countdown. The fandom turned it into an event without being told to. Hashtags appeared, edits multiplied. Fan pages started saying, "We're entering the blueprint era," and that's where this story really begins. Not with a drop, but with a decision. A decision to stop chasing attention and start designing it. Because when you can make people care about something before it even exists, that's power. And Olandria's mastered it. Every creator knows how to talk, but only a few know how to shut up and make that silence echo louder than any post ever could. That's Olandria's edge. She's not just quiet, she's calculatedly quiet. Every time she goes off the grid, fans panic first, then speculate, then promote her without realizing it. It's not an accident, it's a strategy. Let's break it down. When the Fed in November moment happened, most people expected a wave of follow-up posts, stories, hints, maybe even a countdown. Instead, nothing. No tweets, no updates, just silence. But that's where she wins, because silence is space. And in that space, curiosity grows. While other influencers flood timelines with content, Olandria creates voids. Voids that make people fill them with theories, fan edits, and endless conversation. Nic mirrors this perfectly. He doesn't hype, he withholds. If she goes quiet, he follows suit. And together, they turn absence into energy. Fans start to notice when they both vanish. It's like a signal flare without the flare. Everyone knows something's coming. This coordinated silence isn't about being mysterious for the sake of it. It's about timing. They understand the rhythm of attention, the push and pull of presence and absence. Think of it like a heartbeat. Too much noise and people tune out, too little and they forget you. But just enough. Silence placed right between the beats keeps them hanging on. That's what they do. They create a pattern. One cryptic message, then total stillness. Then days later, a micro appearance. A small like, a half comment, a live cameo. Just enough to reignite speculation. It's tension management. It's the same reason movie studios drop teaser trailers 6 months before release. Not to inform, but to trigger curiosity. And Olandria's mastered that formula on a human level. When fans don't see her, they don't move on. They go looking. Her silence makes her searchable. That's the paradox. Saying less makes people talk more. And this is where Nic's personality amplifies the blueprint. He's reactive, spontaneous, unpredictable. The perfect counterbalance to her calm. When she goes silent, he drops micro signals. A random playlist, a vague caption, a quick story with no context. It keeps the speculation engine alive. Fans start connecting dots that might not even exist, and that's the brilliance of it. The audience becomes part of the rollout. They think they're investigating. In reality, they're marketing. The November blueprint isn't built on hype. It's built on restraint, on knowing exactly when to not post, when to vanish, when to let anticipation simmer until it feels like obsession. Because when you disappear strategically, your silence becomes a stage, and the audience performs on it for you. And just when the buzz reaches its peak, when everyone's refreshing, waiting, speculating, that's when they reappear, calm, casual, controlled, like they never left. That's not a mystery. That's precision. That's the blueprint. But silence alone doesn't build movements. It needs one more ingredient: timing. Because mystery only works when it lands at the perfect moment. And that's where their true genius comes in. Timing is everything. Not the post, not the caption, not even the content. Just when you choose to show up. That's the part most creators never master. And the reason Olandria and Nic's every move feels like an event. They understand that after every high, there has to be a gap, a silence long enough to make people miss them, but short enough to keep them on edge. That's not randomness, that's rhythm. When Fed in November first dropped, fans were still riding the emotional high from the show. Edits, interviews, fan meetups, endless replay moments. Normally, that energy fades after a few weeks. But instead of feeding it immediately, Olandria pulled back. No constant posting, no filler updates. She let the attention breathe, and here's what that does psychologically. It resets the audience's reward system. When people don't know when the next moment is coming, their brains start anticipating it. That anticipation, that mental waiting, creates dopamine loops. The same loops that keep people checking notifications, rewatching clips, and scanning for clues. Every tiny update becomes magnified. A casual post turns into a sign, a playlist addition becomes a hint, and suddenly, fans aren't just watching, they're tracking. That's what makes the timing so powerful. They don't give fans everything. They give them windows. Narrow, fleeting, perfectly placed. Right when curiosity starts dipping, something happens. Nic goes live for 5 minutes. Olandria reposts a fan edit. Someone mentions a date, November. And instantly, the energy resets. It's emotional pacing. Just like in a film, moments of calm followed by bursts of excitement, enough to keep you hooked without burning you out. This is where the psychology of scarcity kicks in. When something feels rare, people value it more. That's why their silence feels premium. It's not absence, it's exclusivity. It's like waiting for your favorite artist to drop a surprise album. The waiting becomes part of the experience. It's not frustrating, it's thrilling, and that thrill keeps people engaged far longer than any algorithm could. By mastering when to post instead of what to post, they've turned timing into their trademark. And when November finally arrived, people didn't just expect a drop, they felt it. They were emotionally primed, fully tuned in, ready for anything. Because that's what great timing does. It doesn't announce, it builds pressure. And when that pressure finally releases, it doesn't feel like marketing, it feels like magic. But here's the secret behind why it works so flawlessly. They're not doing it alone. The fans are doing half the work. And that's exactly where the next chapter begins. Every viral empire starts the same way, with noise. But NicOlandria didn't rise from noise. They rose from energy, the kind that doesn't need to be bought or begged for. It builds itself. One comment, one repost, one sleepless fan at a time. Because once Olandria and Nic planted that tiny spark, y'all are gonna be so fed in November, the fans did everything else. They became the engine, the marketing team, and the emotional heartbeat of the entire blueprint. Fan pages started popping up like wildfire, some for edits, some just to track theories. Every little live stream moment was clipped, captioned, and spread across TikTok within minutes. They weren't just reacting, they were curating. Every smile, every tease, every accidental glance between the two became a digital artifact. And here's where the genius shows itself. Most creators talk to their audience. Olandria and Nic talk through them. They don't force engagement, they ignite it. They drop half sentences, cryptic words, moments that leave people filling in the blanks. And that's the secret. When fans start finishing your sentences, you've won. Because now, they're not just consuming content, they're creating culture. Scroll through their comment sections and it's obvious. These people don't act like followers, they act like insiders. They use their own language. Fed, Blueprint, Metland, Big Mama O. They've built an entire micro-universe that even casual viewers have to learn to understand. And that language creates ownership. Every time someone says, "We're so fed this month," it isn't just support, it's identity. They feel part of something exclusive, something evolving in real time. The fandom becomes a feedback loop. The more theories they post, the more attention it generates. The more attention it generates, the more mystery Olandria and Nic feed them. And around it goes. Self-sustaining, self-promoting, self-growing. And yet, none of it feels manufactured. That's the beauty of it. Because at its core, this isn't about algorithms or strategies. It's about connection, the kind that can't be faked. Olandria shares pieces of herself. Not perfectly packaged influencer posts, real fragments. She talks about exhaustion, about taking lash breaks, about learning boundaries. It's unfiltered enough to feel human, polished enough to feel intentional. Nic mirrors it in his own way. Funny, scattered, deeply present. He's not trying to perform, he's trying to belong. And that balance, authenticity with alignment, is exactly what keeps the fandom loyal. Every live, every inside joke, every technical glitch becomes a shared memory. The fans remember, they quote it, they carry it into the next live stream, the next post, the next month. That's how movements grow. Not from planned launches, but from emotional repetition. Small, real moments repeated until they feel sacred. By now, Fed in November isn't even an announcement anymore. It's a tradition, a collective heartbeat. And that's when fandom stops being a following and starts becoming a foundation. Because this isn't just hype anymore, it's structure. It's brand building disguised as community building. And what comes next proves exactly that. What started as chaos, unfiltered lives, messy comment sections, random banter, quietly transformed into something structured, a brand. Not the kind you print on merch, but the kind that lives in people's heads. And the shift didn't happen overnight. It happened in real time, in front of the same fans who helped build it. Let's rewind. When Olandria first went live after the show, everything felt spontaneous. No lighting, no filters, no production, just a girl adjusting her camera, talking about lashes, and laughing mid-sentence. But slowly, patterns started to appear. Her visuals became consistent, muted backgrounds, gold tones, natural lighting. Nic's content began reflecting a similar palette. Even their captions and inside jokes started to carry the same rhythm. Without announcing it, they were designing coherence. Look closer at how they present themselves. Olandria's Queen of Calm Chaos energy balanced with Nic's casual Chaos King vibe. Their contrast became their color scheme. It wasn't accidental, it was balanced by design. When she spoke about manifestation and being divinely protected, fans caught onto it. When he posted about long nights and staying grounded, fans mirrored it. Before long, their tone, their timing, even their language started to sync. That's how a brand voice is born, not in a marketing meeting, in conversation. And this consistency isn't limited to visuals. It's in how they handle speculation, how they tease releases, and how they protect mystery. They both understand that every post contributes to a larger narrative. Their lives feel unscripted, but there's rhythm in the randomness. Whenever one speaks about future plans, the other mirrors curiosity without giving answers. Whenever a rumor circulates, they acknowledge it with humor, not denial. It's coordinated authenticity. And that's why every part of their ecosystem, from Big Mama O memes to Mr. O edits, looks like it belongs in the same world. Aesthetics, tone, pacing, all aligned, all intentional. Think about it. Even their chaos has structure. Even their jokes have themes. Olandria's phrases like, "Y'all gonna be fed" and "stay tuned" sweets aren't throwaways. They're brand language. Nic's half-serious, half-joking Mr. O persona, a mascot built out of memes. Together, they're creating a shared identity fans can participate in. And participation is currency. When fans start repeating your phrases, copying your captions, or designing edits that look like your posts, you've achieved something most influencers never do: brand replication. Your audience doesn't just follow your brand, they become it. That's what NicOlandria did. They took unpredictability and turned it into a pattern. They took internet noise and tuned it into a melody. And that's why November isn't just an event, it's a campaign. A campaign without sponsors, schedules, or scripts, yet one that runs smoother than most corporate launches. It's not chaos anymore, it's controlled energy, branded emotion. And at the heart of it all lies something far more powerful than marketing: storytelling. Because the reason their brand feels real is because it's told like a story. And that's exactly what we'll unpack next. Every great brand tells a story, but NicOlandria, they live one in real time. From the very beginning, Their connection wasn't just about chemistry, it was about narrative. Each live stream, each little argument, each flirtatious pause felt like a new chapter in something unfolding right in front of the audience. And that's why people couldn't look away, because they weren't just watching a couple go live, they were following an ongoing story. See, most influencers post content. NicOlandria posts moments that don't need editing or filters to feel cinematic. Think about it, the chaos of their first few lives. Glitchy cameras, random conversations, fan interruptions, it all felt messy. But that mess became part of the world building. It made the story feel real, spontaneous, unplanned, like viewers were sneaking a peek behind the curtain of fame. Then, as weeks passed, those random moments began to link. Running jokes repeated, inside phrases formed, fans remembered details from old lives and connected them to new ones. Suddenly, this wasn't just entertainment, it was continuity. Every time Olandria teased something, it felt like foreshadowing. Every time Nic popped up mid-live, it felt like a plot twist. And when they went silent, that became the cliffhanger. They didn't need scripts, they had rhythm. They didn't need writers, they had memory. That's what storytelling does when it's done right. It builds emotional connection through structure, even when the content feels unstructured. And here's the real genius. They don't announce arcs, they build them subconsciously. You don't realize you're following a storyline until you're halfway in. You think you're watching casual conversation, but then you notice callbacks, references, tone shifts. Olandria mentions manifesting 2026. Nic jokes about her purple hair. Weeks later, she's live talking about color symbolism and new beginnings. And boom, the dots connect. The fans realize they're not watching random lives. They're watching the evolution of two brands, two people, one blueprint. It's slow storytelling, not shock content. And it works because it feels earned. Every new live feels like a sequel, not just another post. And because the fans were there from the beginning, they feel like co-authors. They predict what happens next. They make theories. They even shape the narrative themselves through comments, reactions, and fan edits. That's what traditional media lost, and what NicOlandria rediscovered. It's not just storytelling, it's story living. And that's the reason people stay. Because in a world of endless scrolling, NicOlandria made people feel like they're watching something that matters, something unfolding, chapter by chapter, right before their eyes. But every great story has a deeper layer, one that runs beneath the emotions and into the mechanics. Because while fans were watching the story, Olandria and Nic were building something behind it. Something structured, something scalable, something that could last. And that's where the blueprint reveals its next level. The business behind the magic. At first glance, it looks effortless. Two personalities just vibing online. But behind the jokes, the inside phrases, and the chaotic lives, there's a system running silently. A system that turns momentum into money, without ever making it feel like marketing. Because here's the thing, attention is currency, and NicOlandria has learned how to spend it wisely. When most creators try to monetize, it feels transactional. Sponsored posts, forced ads, awkward product drops. But with Olandria and Nic, everything blends seamlessly into the story they've built. Take Olandria's brand evolution. She never announced a rebrand, she just became it, one campaign at a time. Her look shifted, her tone matured, her content became more cinematic, and fans followed without question. When she launched partnerships, they didn't feel like brand deals, they felt like milestones. Moments in the narrative that made sense. The community wasn't watching her sell, they were watching her win. And that's the genius. When your audience roots for your success, promotion doesn't feel like persuasion, it feels like participation. Nic mirrors that perfectly. He uses his platform as both a personal diary and a soft marketing engine. From music drops to event appearances, he doesn't announce, he invites. He'll joke about upcoming shows, mention travel, tease projects, all within the flow of conversation. By the time the official drop happens, fans have already emotionally invested. That emotional investment is priceless because it means the audience isn't just consuming, they're contributing. Every fan edit, every repost, every viral moment becomes unpaid advertisement. They amplify, they remix, they expand. And Olandria and Nic let them, because that's how community becomes campaign. Now, look at the bigger picture. They're not just selling products or appearances, they're monetizing trust. That's what every influencer tries to buy, and what NicOlandria built naturally. When Olandria talks about manifestation, fans listen like students. When Nic opens up about exhaustion or burnout, it doesn't damage his brand, it humanizes it. And that transparency drives deeper engagement than any traditional marketing could, because trust doesn't scale overnight. It grows with repetition, with honesty, with vulnerability. So when they launch something, whether it's a new project, a fashion campaign, or a joint venture, it lands differently. Fans don't ask, why are they doing this? They ask, how can I support? That's the holy grail of brand psychology, moving from attention to allegiance, from passive viewers to active participants. And there's another layer here, sustainability. They've built dual lanes of revenue without competing with each other. Nic dominates the event and entertainment side, music, appearances, and collaborations. Olandria anchors the lifestyle and beauty side. Campaigns, brand features, digital presence. 2 careers running parallel, feeding into one fandom. Each appearance by one boosts the engagement of the other. Each collaboration creates a ripple that strengthens both brands. It's not couple content, it's co-branding. Together, they've built something that feels organic, but functions like a business model, a living ecosystem powered by authenticity. And the more their audience grows, the stronger the structure becomes. Because people aren't just watching for entertainment anymore, they're watching to belong. That's why every month feels like a launch. Every appearance feels like a premiere. Every surprise drop feels like a holiday. It's not an accident, it's architecture. And it's turning one of the internet's most spontaneous pairings into a long-term cultural brand. But the true brilliance of NicOlandria isn't in how they monetize, it's in how they last. Because hype fades, numbers dip, attention moves on. What they've built, that emotional connection, that ongoing story, that rhythm between silence and revelation, that's not hype, that's legacy. And that's where this blueprint leads, from fandom to foundation. At first, it was just a spark. 2 people, 1 viral connection, and a fandom that refused to let it fade. But what Olandria and Nic built from that spark isn't just a moment, it's a foundation. Because what began as chaos, live stream glitches, and inside jokes turned into something far more intentional, a blueprint for longevity. And the brilliance of that blueprint lies in one simple truth. They never treated their fans like followers. They treated them like partners. From Fed in November to every unplanned live, every quote, every theory, NicOlandria made people feel included. And inclusion builds infrastructure. When fans feel like they're part of something, they start protecting it. They defend it online. They promote it offline. They become brand guardians without even realizing it. That's how you turn attention into community, and community into culture. By now, Olandria doesn't need to post every day. Nic doesn't need to explain every move. Their story lives on through the audience, through the edits, the hashtags, the retellings. That's not influence, that's inheritance. They've built what every creator dreams of. Something that can stand even when they step back, because the fans don't just consume the story, they carry it forward. They evolve it, remix it, reimagine it. And in that cycle, NicOlandria's story becomes timeless. The November blueprint was never just about 1 month. It was a metaphor for what happens when patience meets purpose, a reminder that silence can speak louder than promotion, and mystery can outlive marketing. They didn't drop content, they dropped control. They let the audience build with them, and in return, the audience made them unforgettable. And now, whether it's a new project, a live, or a whispered phrase, their fans know it's never random. Everything means something. Every absence has purpose. Every return has weight. That's the mark of a brand that transcends trend cycles. Not reactive, not viral, rooted. Because at the heart of all of it, beyond the jokes, the chaos, the teasing, lies a message. You can build something real online. Something that lasts, something that feeds people, not with content, but with connection. And that's the true secret of the NicOlandria phenomenon. It's not about numbers, it's about nourishment. They didn't chase fame, they cultivated it. They didn't sell to fans, they built with them. So when Olandria said y'all are gonna be so fed in November, she wasn't talking about drops or reveals. She was talking about growth, about creating something so full of life that it could keep feeding people long after the moment ended. Because November wasn't just their launch, it was their legacy. If you followed this journey from the beginning, from that one cryptic sentence to the chaos, silence, and storytelling, drop a comment that says, "We're still fed." Because this isn't the end of the NicOlandria story, it's the beginning of their foundation.